Welcome to the Armani Talks YouTube channel. I'm your host, Armani Talks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills in order to help you level up your way with words. Every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'm dropping new videos on speaking skills, social skills, creative writing skills, along with other topics that you were never taught in school. In this channel, you are going to finally learn how to express your ideas and become much more articulate. Join the tribe by hitting that subscribe button right on below. Hit that bell notification and never miss another video again. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I appreciate you for joining me, and go on and help me out by dropping that like right on below as we enter the world of social skills. If you're new to this channel, one thing that I consistently do for the variety of videos in this channel is to tell stories. And more specifically, I tell stories in regards to everyday occurrences in my life. Normally, these everyday occurrences seem mundane. But when I look at these occurrences with the intention of finding a lesson, that's when it morphs from mundane to magic. And today, I want to tell you a story about a haircut that I got, I would say 2 hours ago. And it was a haircut that I was not pleased with. I thought the barber did a pretty bad job. However, I'm going to be going back to this barber next month. Now, you may be wondering why. If this guy did such a bad job, why are you going to be going back to him? The reason why was because he was memorable. There's going to be tons of lessons in today's episode, so if you're ready and excited, go on and drop that like for me right on below. For the past 12 months, I've been going to the same barber. His name is Joey. But today, as I was about to go to Joey, I check his calendar and I see that he's booked. He's not going to be free for another 2 days. I'm starting to look like Sasquatch. I need my haircut today. So unfortunately, I have to break the streak with Joey and I have to find another barber around the area. I start going on Google and checking out different spots. And eventually, I see this perfect barber spot that has a 4.9 rating. It's only 6 minutes away. So I go in there, and it's huge. But it's pretty empty. There's a lot of barber chairs, and there's 2 barbers with 2 customers. One right here, one right here. So I'm inside, I'm waiting for, I would say, 2 to 3 minutes till this short little Dominican guy comes up to me and he's like, hey, are you an appointment or walk-in? I say walk-in. And he's like, follow me. I'm initially thinking that he's going to take me to the other barber chairs, but that's not exactly what he's doing. Instead, he starts walking me into this back room and he opens the door. And as he opens the door, I'm amazed. He takes me into this little studio where there's this huge poster of the Avengers. There's this gold barber chair. There's black robes where he's going to put it around my neck as he cuts my hair. And the entire theme of the studio is black and gold. I'm looking at this place and I'm thinking, man, is this guy a barber or is he an upcoming hip hop artist? Because this place is blinged out. And then he sits me down. He asks me my name. And then he's like, do you watch anything on TV? Yes. He has this big TV in this studio. I'm like, man, I don't really watch that much TV. You could put on whatever you want to put on. And that's when he's like, have you heard of a show called Squid Games? I was like, what? He's like, it's called Squid Games. You haven't heard of it? And then he starts giving me a synopsis as he's asking me what type of haircut I want. And he puts the show on. As we're watching it, he starts conversing with me. And he's trying to ask me about my background, what I do. I'm starting to talk to him as well. And I'm starting to see what he does. Smart guy, but he's extremely inquisitive regarding me. You could tell that he doesn't want me to just get a haircut with him once. He wants me to become a repeat customer. But I'm waiting, I'm getting the haircut, and we're speaking. And then once he's done, I was like, man, he actually didn't do a good job to my liking. And it's one of those styles of haircuts where he can't do anything more. He didn't do the initial instructions, and it's not like if he cuts off more that it's going to do a good job. So I reluctantly paid him. I gave him the tip anyways. And after I was done, he's like, hey man, do you want some candy? I was like, nah man, I'm on a diet right now. What kind of candy you got? Because I have to ask him this. I'm not one of those kinds of guys that likes chocolate candy, M&Ms, Butterfinger, Three Musketeers, those kind of nasty candy like that. But if you got Airheads, Starburst, Skittles, sign me up, man. I'll break my diet anytime. And those are the kinds of candy he had. So he starts giving me all this candy, and he's like, would you like a drink too? I'm like, nah, man, I'm on a diet. What kind of drink you got? And he's like, I got Gatorade, I got Capri Sun, I got chocolate milk. And a part of me was like, yeah, hook me up with that too. So as I'm leaving the haircut, even though I didn't like the style, I got hooked up with an experience. I watched Squid Games, I got Airheads and Skittles, I got Gatorade. This was a beautiful experience, and a part of me was glad that I gave him the tips because it was much more than the haircut. I felt as though I was in this exclusive spot. While all these other people were getting their haircuts at the local area, the barber chairs, I was getting it cut in a studio. So this makes me want to go back to him the next time because he did a crucial lesson. And the lesson was that he went above expectations. Now, mind you, he didn't go above expectations with the actual haircut, which was a skill that he was hired for. However, he was able to make it up in different ways by having that experience of the TV, with the candy, with the drinks, which a lot of the other barbers, they don't think like that. And then, before I left, by the way, he gave me a business card which was black and gold. It fit the theme of his entire studio, and whether he was aware of it or not, it stuck with me. I was able to pick up the theme. And that's something that once I held his card, which was heavy by the way, which showed that he put consideration behind the style of the card, it just showed that this guy was playing chess while all these other guys were playing checkers. This guy is smart, and now he potentially has a repeat customer. The lesson that it all comes down to is that you want to keep finding these little pockets where you could go a little bit above expectations, a little bit above, a little bit above, a little bit above, and then it starts to add on up. If he was just showing me Squid Games, I wouldn't have thought much of it. Then he hit it with the candy, then he hit it with the drinks, then he hit it with the business card, and he just kept going a little bit above, a little bit above, a little bit above, until he made himself memorable. So the way that you can make yourself memorable is to find these little pockets in your day-to-day life where you could be just a little bit better of a listener, just a little bit better in terms of humor, just a little bit better in phrasing a question that suits the context of the conversation that you're having. And although it seems extremely small when you're looking at it by rep and rep and rep, in the long run, you start to permeate into this other person's subconscious mind. You start to become memorable. The good people try to improve 10% at a time. Great people try to improve 1% at a time. Go from good to great, and you will be memorable in no time. If you want more stories and practical insights like this into social skills, be sure to check out The Charisma King. This book is going to give you tons of practical tips on how to manage social anxiety and turn it into social excitement, how to implement 4D listening skills so you're absorbing information and you're asking precise, laser-like questions, and how to build an alliance of acquaintances and friends so others are talking you up even when you leave the room. Check out the Charisma King in the description box and the pinned comment right on below. And thank you very much for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel.